Everything in life is growing. From cells, meiotic, meiosis, division, cell growth, to tissues, to organ systems, to human beings. And in human beings want to populate and they want to grow themselves and have kids. Same with companies. Companies want to expand their growth. Countries want to expand their growth. Planets want to expand their growth in their gravitational pull. A planet wants to have the gravitational pull of another planet. A star, for example. The universe is expanding at an infinitesimal rate. And if you look at the physics behind it, it's mind-boggling. So the first basis of success is that we want expansion. We want expansion in our life, in all areas of our life. Nobody gets up out of bed in the morning and say, hey, listen, you know what, I want less money today, right? I want to have a less boyfriend or less girlfriend. I want to have less patience. Nobody gets out of bed and say, I want to do less at work. We all get out of bed and thinking, you know what, I can't wait to do it again. I can't wait to try. Some of you may do if you're fed up with your practice. I did once, many years ago. But you all want to expand, and expansion is basically what I'm saying about success. If you can find the things that are most important to you and you can expand that, then you feel fulfillment inside you. You feel like you're growing. And the second definition of success, let me come around there for a minute because this thing is blocking me. Second definition of success, second definition of success is that your decisions are right on a daily basis. The decisions that you make on a daily basis, they're correct for you. For example, if you go to a restaurant with your loved one and the restaurant's absolutely brilliant, you chose it, the waiter service was absolutely great, the food was served within 15 minutes on time, delicious meal, you enjoyed it, your partner loved it, the bill came, there's no service charge on there, it was under what you thought it would be, you paid the bill, thanked the waiter, gave him a tip, turn around to your loved one if you're a man and say, honey, I'll take you here again. I was right coming to this place. I'm glad we enjoyed the meal. You want to take credit for it. But let's look at the converse. If the meal was absolutely rubbish, it came late, it was cold, it was undercooked, the waiter was rude to you, they've added a 12.5% service charge, which wasn't optional, you're going to pay the bill, you want to get out of there and say, honey, don't ever take me to that restaurant ever again. Because you want to be right on your decisions. The decisions that we make and the actions that we have, we want to be right. And that's part of success. I consulted with a dentist recently. One of the things I do is I consult with people. And she had an infatuation around her friend who she saw was more successful than her. She thought in her mind she was successful because her friend got married, she bought a practice, and they were on the way to having little dental kids. There's such a thing as two dentists getting married and having kids. So dental kids, whatever you call them. So they had a practice, got the house, got married, and she looked at this person thinking, you know what, she's got everything I need. And she looked at her own life and she's comparing her own life to her friends. And what that made for her was that made her a little bit depressed. She felt down about that. So she came to me, she goes, Nav, can you help me sort that out? Because I'm not very efficient at work. She just did a restorative MSc, and she was struggling trying to revise for exams because this was running in her mind. So what we did, we broke down each individual component of that success that she thought that the other person had and made her aware of the drawbacks of that success. That the husband was like this, the kids are like this, the practice is like this, the overheads are like this. Until she brought that down from the pedestal, and then we brought her own feelings up about the success that she had in her life, about the MSc, about freedom, about her vitality, her beauty, and everything that she had, until she had equanimity with her friend, and she never put her friend on the pedestal, but she could honor her own feelings, her own fulfillment, and her own version of success. When she did that, she liberated her consciousness, and she did her MSc, she won that, she got the MSc, and everything was okay after that. So she thanked me for that. Ralph Waldo Emerson says, envy is ignorance, imitation is suicide. Envy is ignorance, and imitation is suicide. Trying to be like somebody else is the height of ignorance, is the height of it, because you can never be like anybody else. The most you can be like is the most authentic version of self, the most efficient and effective version, the best version of you that there can be, because you can't be anybody else. Am I making sense? Yes? And that's where you're going to find your success. That's where you're going to be most efficient and effective. Nowhere else. trying to imitate somebody else, trying to do the practice things and trying to have the business that they have in order for you to be like them, don't do that. Because you'll end up resenting them and resenting yourself. In psychology, you have your own consciousness. If you go against your own consciousness, you're going to get feedback mechanisms, corrective feedback mechanisms. Either your physiology is going to tell you, neck ache, back ache, this ache, that ache. Your body's going to tell you, you're going to start taking more drinking more, alcohol, taking more drugs, smoking more cigarettes, having a sugar break. How many of us have gone into a practice and you've had a hard morning, you say, you know what, I need a tea break. I need a coffee break. Put 3 spoons of sugar in that, please, Edna. And you know why? Addictive behaviors are a byproduct of unfulfilled values. I'll say that again. If you can understand that concept, your physiology can change just by knowing that concept. Because the moment you go and take that sugar, or the moment you take that tea, the coffee, or something to stimulate you, you're not stimulating from within, you're stimulating on the outside. You're addicted to that thing, chocolate, sweets, sugars. So addictive behaviors are a byproduct of unfulfilled values. Find out what it is that you need fulfillment and don't rely on an external stimulus. I'm not saying don't do it, I'm just saying be aware of it while you're doing it.